Alright, I'm gonna get this window clean this time so we can actually hopefully we'll be able to do some filming through the front windshield and you guys will actually be able to see what we're doing. Alright, yeah, I'd say that's a lot better on the windshield. So that's gonna give us hopefully some good views. In case we have to see something and we can't stop, we'll film it through the windshield, but much better than it was. We'll see how good it is by the time we get up there. Well, we've got to take the 58 because the canyon is still closed. They're experiencing, the road is actually starting to fall apart in a couple areas because of the river is just so high. It's right up. A lot of people are saying it's definitely gonna cross over the top of the road this year. The real melt is really just now starting to come in. So the backcountry ice is coming down the river at full capacity, and they expect the lake to be pretty much full by sometime this month. That's what I heard. So it'll be it's going to be an interesting summer to say the least, being that the water storage out in the flats, kind of out where we're looking right now, quite a bit further out to the west. When we were flying the other day, it was right out that way, and that's where all that water storage was completely full already. So yeah, there's just not a whole lot of places for the water to go anymore. So for those of you that are familiar with the Tejon Ranch, one of the largest ranches in California, that's part of it, straight ahead, that mountain range, and it extends all the way over that way. And that's actually the Grapevine and the I-5 way over there. You can't see it. That takes you up to LA over there, and the Tejon Ranch basically extends along this range here all the way over to the Grapevine over there. So it's just a massive, I think it's 200 to 300,000 acres, or even maybe even a little bit larger. But like I said, one of the largest and oldest, most historic cattle ranches in California. That's looking over towards the Lake Isabella Kernville area. So this time we're going to go up through Tehachapi. We never go this way, but we're going to have to today because of the canyon being closed. Murray Family Farms on the Highway 58. They have a lot of cool stuff there. If you're ever passing through, it's worth the stop. So there was a train derailment up here somewhere when I came through, probably about a month ago. It might have been actually right there. But just kind of wondering if they got it cleaned up yet. Oh, no, there it is right there. So I thought it was back there, but it was actually right there. Hopefully you guys can see that. I've always liked Tehachapi a lot. It's a beautiful place, but it's just always really windy here. That's the only problem with it, is the wind. You can see it's blowing right now. But it's a really beautiful spot, about 45 minutes east of Bakersfield. Kind of right before you drop into the Mojave Desert. And that is a, I believe that's like a boron plant over here on the other side. They call that area like Sand Canyon back up in there. So that's the south side of Lake Isabella. You go over that mountain range and you'll be on your way to Lake Isabella. We just cleared Tehachapi and we're getting ready to drop down into the Mojave Desert. So quite a contrast in the landscape here in a very short period of time. Within just a few miles we get from you know, the oak trees and rolling hills out into the Mojave Desert. So I'm gonna take you guys up through the 14 here into the 395, and we'll go past Cal City and up through Red Rock and Jawbone area. So we'll be taking a look at that here pretty quick. Almost looks like a cartoon. Miles and miles of that solar. So this is the Jawbone Canyon little store here. Not exactly sure what they're doing here, but they're right out in the middle of the road. Looks like the guy's passed out in the car, so that's not good. Wow. Yeah, it's not a very smart place to park, even for a park ranger. You know, get off in the shoulder, man. Don't leave your vehicle on the highway. I've been by this place many times and never stopped and actually went back here. So I decided I'd do that today. And wow, it's really impressive. These rocks. Almost looks like an old kingdom of castles that was here at one time that melted away into the rocks. But really interesting place. Definitely a big contrast from over here. So that's just regular rolling hills, and then you just have this formation here. And this thing's probably about, I don't know, 200 feet high, or maybe 150 feet high. And very, very interesting formations here. All right, well, we got to see that. Hope you guys enjoyed that. And looks like they're possibly filming the next episode of Breaking Bad also. Looks like these guys, I'm not sure exactly what they're doing, but I'll let them be, let them do their thing. And we are gonna get on down the road. I just hopped up out of the Red Rock recreation area, and we're almost to the gateway, the gateway to the Sierras. So I would call this pretty much the gateway, but I think a lot of people, it's a little bit further up. It's actually closer to where Olancha is, and they call that the gateway to the Eastern Sierra. But you can see the thunderclouds are formed up pretty good, and it's probably, it's about 93 degrees right now, not too bad. About, I don't know, 200 feet high, or maybe 150 feet high. And very, very interesting formations here. All right, well, we got to see that. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Definitely a storm brewing over there. And it actually looks like another one kind of up ahead here. These things are starting to form up, and we'll see if they could even be, looks like they're dumping a little moisture over that way. We're headed right over to that direction right there. So here's the sign right here. Eastern Sierra Scenic Byway. Pretty dark over there. And definitely farming up over this way too. This thing's just brimming full. It's the Upper Little Lake Ranch. Look at those rays coming through. That's like majestic. That is so cool. It's like a spotlight shining down right in that one spot. A little bit of rain finally. Just a little tiny bit here, but it sure has lowered that temperature. Went from 95 to 84 real quick. I mean, these clouds are just beautiful. It's heavenly. I like to say it's heavenly. It's exactly what it looks like. Yeah, we're getting a little bit of moisture. I just find that mesmerizing right there. I can't stop taking little clips of it. Just amazing. Very beautiful. Definitely makes a long trip like this worthwhile. I just had to stop and share this for a sec. Okay, so here's something I have not shared with the channel. I've probably mentioned it a couple times, but we do own a ranch up here in Olancha. It's right up that way, and it's 640 acres, okay? And all of that back there, that's all BLM behind it. And this lady here, I met her a couple years ago, and she's got all those railroad ties. That's an old railroad that used to run all the way through here, and they took it out for some reason a long time ago. But I have another harebrained idea that I'm going to share with you guys on the channel. That property, which is way up that way, we're going to build some camping platforms out there. And basically a platform, you know, 3 foot off the ground, about 10 foot by 10 foot. We're going to sink those poles in the ground, or those railroad ties. And then we're going to build a platform up on top of that. And so you can pitch a tent. And it's just beautiful out there. There's the yucca. There's all kinds of different desert species of stuff out on that property. Really cool place. And it's going to be on Hip Camp. It's basically a site for people that like to dry camp and stuff like that. So I figured I'd mention it, and maybe I'll get some feedback, see if people think it's a good idea or a bad idea, whatever. But I think it's a great idea, and I want to build about 30 or 40 of those platforms out there. I think it'll make some great content when we get out there and build those things. And then basically it's you know, you can just pack out there with a tent and set up on one of those platforms. You're up off the ground, and this is your backdrop here. I mean, this is what you're looking at when you wake up in the morning. I mean, it's definitely a little different than Mammoth, but I think people will really enjoy it. So we're definitely going to move forward with that idea, and hopefully in the next couple years we'll have something done out there. So we're almost coming into Olancha here, and like I was just showing you back there, that's my place over there. It's basically quite a bit of sand and fairly flat. There is some contours on the outskirts of it, and which gives it like some protection from the wind, and that's where we're going to be putting the platforms. But basically right out there is about 640 acres. It's the largest parcel in Olancha, privately owned, and it backs up to BLM. It's a pretty cool spot, and we're gonna make something of it here real soon. You can see it out there. It's the light colored ground out there. That's it. That's our place. Basically right behind this. Okay, not the best place to stop here, but I had to show you guys the lake real quick. We haven't seen it in quite a while. This was like a good vantage point for the lake. This is Owens Lake. It's got a lot of water in it right now. So pretty cool to see it with this kind of water. And a lot more coming in. All right, we are well on our way to Mammoth Lakes right now. Just getting through Tehachapi there, and appreciate all the kind responses on the last video. And I am gonna make another option to win that Polaris, and it's going to be with the My Patriot Shopping Club membership. So, and I don't know why people don't look into that a lot more. The products on there, they're all natural. They're non-abrasive. You know, the cleaning stuff is actually like, it doesn't even have a warning label on it. So, you know, you could practically drink the stuff and it's not going to hurt you, because they use all natural ingredients. They don't bring a bunch of nasty stuff in there, and that's why I call it health and wellness. A lot of the products on there, a lot of health and wellness products, cleaning stuff. And then they also have a beef, which I've talked about that beef. We get the beef, we get the products every month delivered directly to our door, and we love the products. And you know, it's convenient. It's actually cheaper than going to Walmart. The stuff's actually safer for you and better for you. In most cases, you're gonna get more for your buck. And with the beef, for one, it's that's a no-brainer, because we're talking about antibiotic-free, hormone-free beef that you're just not going to find that in the big box stores, Vons. All these stores, you know, they're selling from a national conglomerate. I guess that's what you'd call it. But yeah, so, you know, all the packing plants in the United States, it's like, you know, 5 or 6 of them. They're all in cahoots with each other, and you don't know what you're getting with that meat. And this stuff here that comes out of Idaho is just a much better quality. It's Angus. It's great beef. And like I said, the other products, the cleaning and the health and wellness products, are great as well. So I'm gonna give every new membership to Patriot Shopping Club, I'm going to give them a free entry to win that Polaris RZR. So I hope you guys do it. I wouldn't stand behind it if I didn't think it was great stuff, and it's going to do nothing but benefit you in the long run, as far as saving you money and just using healthier all-around products that are American made. You know where the stuff's coming from. You can check into the history of the company. They have all kinds of stuff online that talks about you know, the history of where they come from and the family that's out of that area in Idaho. And just a great company all around, and I support them, and I hope you guys do too. And like I said, as an incentive, I'm going to, anybody who signs up for that, I'm going to go ahead and enter you in that sweepstakes to win that Polaris XP Ranger on September 4th, Labor Day. So it couldn't hurt to try. That's all I got to say. Give it a shot.